Hello everybody, so today we're going to be recording an updated tutorial on some really basic flying machine components and designs. So let's start with a two-way flying machine. This is a really basic component that can go in almost any machine, and it's called a two-way engine. So you start with this layer, you add more slime blocks, and then we're going to add our triggering note blocks out here and our observers on the inside pointed inward like that. This is a two-way engine, and now if we hit this note block, you see it goes this way, and if we stop it and hit this note block, it goes the other direction. Awesome. So now we'll start with a stopping mechanism. You saw me use obsidian to stop this. That's one way to stop a flying machine. You can actually have components on board to stop the machine for you. So this is the stopping mechanism component. You have 3 attachments to the airplane. You have 1 triggering note block, an observer going into that note block, and then just a regular piston. This, when you spam this note block, will stop this engine if it's moving that way. Now you need to have 1 on each side. So let's build the other one. Great, now we have a stopping mechanism on each side, and I'll get rid of this obsidian for now. And you'll see when we trigger it, it moves, and when I press this note block, it stops. Same thing on the other side, it's moving. Now if I spam this note block, it stops. Great. Let's also now talk about seating. People will give you a lot of different BS on different ways to hold the player in a flying machine. I have found that there is only one reliable method to do so, and I'll include that component here. The only reliable way that I have found is to enclose the player in a minecart on a piece like that. You break the minecart rail, and this is the component. Let's make sure it's attached. Now, this is an optimal way to seat the player in the flying machine. I'm not going to go anywhere. But if I was in something like a cauldron or a honey block, I might be fine for a couple hundred blocks, but then eventually I would be forced off of the machine. So other methods are just kind of generally less reliable. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sister Milk, isn't there a way to have a flying machine that can go in 4 directions? The answer is yes. First of all, let's say you had a two-way machine like this already, and you want it to go side to side. Well, the first thing you want to do is immobilize the two-way engine so that it doesn't get in the way. And I just do that by putting slime blocks around the pistons of the two-way engine. So now it's completely immobilized, gummed up, can't go anywhere. Let me get the lighting better for you guys really quick. So now what you want to do in order to move the machine side to side, if you already have a two-way engine, one thing that I like to do is to have an incremental engine on the side. So you'll have a piston, a sticky, or a slime block structure coming down like this, another sticky piston there, and then you'll have an observer on the other side. Flip it so that it's facing in. Now, this is the engine when it's ready to move. This is when it's available for storage. Let's build the same design on the other side. So building an incremental engine again. Now let's say we wanted to use this one. So the two-way engine is gummed up. This incremental engine that fires it going that way is gummed up, but this one is ready to go. So if we take some buttons and put it on top of this piston, we can move this two-way machine side to side, 1 block at a time. This is one of the most reliable ways I've found. And so now let's say we wanted to move again side to side, we would break this or clear that, break this blocks on the outside that gum up the machine, and we're ready to go. Now it's moving again. So you can see that we have converted a two-way machine into a sort of four-way machine. So that's good. Yeah, so we have a two-way engine. It's got a incremental engine on either side so that it's kind of hybridized into a four-way engine. The only way that I like to have a four-way design other than this is to have a two-way machine perpendicular to another two-way machine, and you just reconfigure it to use either machine. There are four-way designs on the internet, but I am not a fan of them. They tend to break down very easily, especially on a server setting. So these are the designs that I like to stick with for my practical use. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you later.